Zombie Takeout is just what we tell each other it is. Big and cult movies could easily switch places. If the cult were to become the majority, you would find yourself locked in an MCU movie wondering what happened to the world.
Hello and welcome to episode 564 of Zombie Takeout,
Zombie Takeout.
the B movie and cult movie show. I'm John.
And hello, I'm Scotto.
And before we get to this week's movie, just want to mention I saw Avatar Aang The Last Airbender on Paramount Plus a couple of days ago. It is brilliant. If you like the original Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, its sequel series, the animated stuff, this one is also animated. You'll love it. Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, the creators of the original series, came back for this. They weren't at all involved in any of the live action stuff. All they did with the horrible Shyamalan movie was give their okay. And they walked away from the Netflix series because it missed the mark. And I agree, having seen some of it, it was too focused on action and not really what the point of the show was. This one brings it back to the original. It's set 13 years after the original series, so they're all like late 20s, but the feel of it is perfect, perfectly matches the original series. They also have a new series coming up, an animated series. This one's going to be on Nickelodeon called Avatar Seven Havens. This one follows, it seems to follow from Legend of Korra. Don't love the art style. It's not as
Huh.
detailed. It's a little broad. But story wise, it looks really interesting. That starts in October, I think October 9th, if I recall correctly. Just wanted to plug those because they look really good. And, if anyone out there also loves Avatar, um,
What would you say the art style was of the original?
uh, it was a bit more detailed and realistic. Um, the new series, it looks very simple and blocky and like large bits of color. The original was much more detailed. Uh,
Okay, I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I
did you see the
watched
original?
any. I think I saw a little bit of it.
Okay.
It was a series, right?
Animated series.
Right? Originally?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
that's what I thought.
I've been considering it for the TV show. I think it could be interesting
Man, we haven't done a TV show in a
in a
long
while.
time,
I
have
know.
we?
Um, anyway, on to this week's movie, which is from 1994, In the Mouth of Madness. This is part two of our tribute to the late, great Sam Neill. And of course, that brings us to the impromptu plot summary, sponsored by reality. It's all just a shared hallucination anyway.
And also brought to you by Hobbs End. Come for the axe murdering old lady. Stay because you keep driving around in circles. All right, so we have Sam Neill loves to play the asshole, doesn't
Mm-hmm. And
he?
apparently, he was a really nice guy.
He does play the asshole so well, though. And I mean, Hunt for Red October, he wasn't an
Right,
asshole. He was like the
right,
nicest
right.
of all Russians that, broke the stereotype of the cold Russian with the I'm going to raise rabbits. You know? But here he is that asshole again. Practically Damien, from 10 years earlier. And
Although
he's
Heck wasn't an asshole, he was just really gruff.
yeah, you could qualify that as asshole too.
Maybe. Anyway.
So he is the insurance investigator, to catch people in fraud and to make sure they're not paying out, you know, overpaying someone who's looking for a payout, and he gets targeted for this fiction writer. He's very popular apparently, and he's somehow the guy that has to go investigate what happened to this author. So this whole mystery unfolds about, this author that he's never really read before, but he's very popular. But people have started to go insane from reading his work. And well, when his publicist commits suicide, well, doesn't commit suicide, well, I guess it was kind of a suicide by cop,
Yeah.
um, because he just kind of waves the axe at him in the
Mm-hmm.
cafe and clears people out until some cops, off him right there.
Mm-hmm.
He um he gets sent on this thing to investigate him, which is like, I mean, that in itself, you'd be like, huh,
Mm-hmm.
that guy just like got killed right in front of me, and now you want me to go investigate what happened to this author to get.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is a little confusing because at first they're saying they don't have the rest of the story completed, but then when they later she knows the story, the whole
Yes.
story. When the and He finds a mystery town, somehow putting the map of New Hampshire together for book covers, which I'm not sure also sure how he did either. But I think what they explain, of course, is that they are all just written that way.
Mm-hmm.
So he's following a predetermined story
Right.
that led him there. And even as they go on, the story kind of gets rewritten as they're moving. And he was always there and always the guy. In fact, even always delivered
Mm-hmm.
the story in the first place.
This is two characters in search of an author, the horror version.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's
I
a good
think
way of
the
putting it.
actual play is six characters, I think, but this in this case it's
Yes, it
two.
is. And it's a brilliant fucking play that I
Uh,
always wanted to direct, honestly. Direct and star in, of course, because the director is the star of
right.
the play. But the, don't get me started on that because I'll
Uh,
go on about that, even though I haven't read it in like 30 years at least. So he, wow, I've almost told the whole story there in a very fast way. He undergoes a lot of hallucinations, or are they, of course.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, he's pretty much put in the padded room. I'm not insane, even though he's saying it in the craziest way possible with the
Right.
crazy looks. He's getting interviewed and relaying this whole story to a detective. I think it's a detective, or
I think it was the
they were
doctor.
kind of they were implying it was kind of FBI, because
Okay.
the guy in the asylum was saying, "Wow, this must be really big to get someone like you guys involved." So they don't really let on
Okay.
who it
I
is
got the impression it was
exactly.
another doctor. It was like a specialist.
He probably is a doctor working for them though,
Uh-huh.
because they're trying to figure out more and more people are going insane
Right.
and committing random acts of violence, and we'll say hilarity ensues.
Mm. The opening music is very hair metal, which is
Oh
not
man,
Carpenter's thing usually. He goes for kind of that, lonely, moody kind of thing. I
I
found it.
don't.
He brought in a composer, so that does explain some variations in the music that are not typically Carpenter. Usually, Carpenter composes the music to all the music to his own films.
Yeah, why why wouldn't he have just gotten a metal band to have made a song for him? I mean, this is
Yeah,
just. I mean, obviously they were doing like an off-brand,
right,
Metallica Enter
right.
Sandman.
I was thinking a bit more hair metal than that, but um,
That's pretty hair metal, actually,
mm,
by Metallica at that point.
I was actually very surprised that I could not find a metal band called Sutter Kane. It just seems obvious to me.
Yeah.
If I played metal, I would definitely put a band together called Sutter Kane.
How many metal bands would be Carpenter fans? That's a Venn diagram that's
That's a
one
circle.
circle. Yes. Like, dude, give me a song for free kind
Mm,
of thing. Like, even if they're not even like an unsigned band, just
yeah,
go out there
right.
and just tell them about this crazy movie,
Mm,
and they would gladly make a song for you. That would have been better than that.
yeah. Another thing that struck me right off the bat, the volume for this on Tubi, it's free on Tubi, by the way. The link will be
Yeah.
down there. Uh, but the volume is very low.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
and I think it's the movie itself because I also acquired a copy from elsewhere, and it had the same
Oh
issue.
yeah.
So I think it's the movie itself. It just wasn't mastered. It hasn't been remastered effectively, at least the audio.
Not that much of an issue listening to it on headphones. But I can imagine if you were like just watching it in an environmental setting.
I had earbuds in. It still was a little bit low, but I like everything kind of
Really?
cranked. Um,
Yeah.
Great to see John Glover in literally anything. I love everything he does.
Oh yeah, he was
He was the
super
doctor. Yeah,
yeah.
small part, but still love seeing him.
I almost thought he was the same guy as Sutter, you
Hmm.
know. They look very much alike, but they are different people.
And I'm just glad I have his first name written down here because I always confuse John and Roger. Roger Glover is the bassist for Deep Purple. I always confuse them when I'm mentioning one of them. I use the wrong name. Um, Hell of an entrance for Sam Neill's character, John Trent. He
Yeah,
gets hauled kicking and screaming into the asylum. Glover says, "Put him in number nine," and I'm wondering if number nine was a Beatles nod. Um,
probably.
and they put him away, and it's later that night, and we suddenly hear the Muzak version of "We've Only Just Begun" by the Carpenters, and he just he has this look of horror on his face. He kind of melts into the corner of his cell and says, "Not the Carpenters too." It was not Zombie Takeout 2. It was one of my suggestions for the intro. Um, I kind of expected a thunderclap after he first mentioned Sutter Kane because there was a
Or
thunderstorm going on.
or like young Frankenstein the horse.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was a thunderstorm in the scene. You heard
Okay.
it in the conversation around the conversation. So as soon as he said Sutter Kane, I kind of half expected a clap. This movie kind of made me wish I still smoked. I'll admit, because early on there was a lot of smoking.
I mean, I get it, but the
94.
guy, if the guy is locked in a padded room, you are
Uh,
not giving him something burning.
no, true, true, true.
But then again, I guess he was trying to win his trust over, and
Yeah,
he wanted to risk that.
yeah.
But I mean,
Uh,
I don't know, man.
Not just a guy in a padded room by that point, a guy in a padded room who had only requested one black crayon and had written or drawn crosses and written various things all over the wall, drew crosses all over himself. So yeah, you're not giving him anything that burns at that point. This movie has a stellar cast,
Yeah,
even in smaller roles. I mean, obviously Neil, John Glover, I name checked. Bernie Casey has a small role in the beginning.
somebody you can't throw to the lines.
Charlton fucking Heston
I know.
plays the publisher, Sutter Kane's publisher. I don't know how Carpenter snagged Heston.
And why put him in that role? Why not put him in,
Yeah.
one of like, I mean, I don't know, like the doctor or
Mm.
the. I mean, I guess you can't do the author because that's too big a part.
Right, right. I loved how oblivious Trent and Bernie Casey's character were when this guy was walking up to this big window at a diner right behind them with an axe. They're just looking at something away from the window, but their backs to him, and he just comes up and smashes through the window with the axe.
Zero city awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the tourists all the time that are just kind of like,
Yeah.
"You what, dude? What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Oh,
But anybody there just kind of like, you know,
oh,
at least have their eyes on it, at least register it.
right,
But these guys in their own little world, if it were now, they would just be taking a selfie of themselves, checking the picture, and then see it in the background.
right.
Wait,
And to be fair, I've lived in the suburbs all my life. I probably wouldn't be much better. But so it gets to the publisher. That's who hires Trent to track down Kane. And they say they need the book because his fans are getting restless. I have to wonder if Sutter Kane was an inspiration for George R. R. Martin.
Martin, of course. I mean,
Mhm.
I can't. I'm not the first to say it, but he is
Yeah.
never finishing that.
No, no.
And that HBO series guarantee the reaction to the HBO series finale. Guaranteed he's never finishing
Yeah,
it.
no. Um, Especially since, and this is a tangent, but I can't remember their names, but the showrunners for the series were very clear that Martin told them what the ending was going to be. That was based
Right,
on the ending that Martin told them.
right. I mean, there were like little details that they had to
Uh,
smooth over
right,
because there were some variances from
right,
the
of
the
course.
story and the show.
But the
But
big strokes
yeah,
were
that's
they especially after the backlash, they made it very clear the broad strokes were exactly what Martin told them was going to be the ending of the book. And after the backlash, and we both liked the ending, just to be clear about that.
yeah,
But I'm sure after the backlash, Martin made some changes, or at least planned to make some changes if he ever planned to release the book. Getting back to the movie,
yes.
really nice practical effects in this, especially a lot of the creature makeup. The makeup on that cop in the nightmare scene was brilliant.
Some were better than others.
Of
Some of
course,
the monsters I felt were bordering on Fraggle-ish.
it's 94. I appreciate the cheese.
I mean, I appreciate that he was using practical effects, but man, some if they're running from something and it's got to be terrifying. It's gotta, it can't just be. It's kind of like the old swamp creature or something, where it's just obviously a guy
It's a
in a
90s
bad
Carpenter
suit.
movie. You know, the cheese is part of what you're in, what
Yeah,
you signed up for. I like how on the trip to find Kane, Styles foreshadows how Trent ends up institutionalized. She basically hands us the rest of the movie.
right. And you know how it's. I mean, since you saw the beginning and you know how
Mm,
it's going to happen,
right.
they are spelling it out
Mm.
what his path is.
But it's still such a mind fuck when you get there. Like I've seen this movie multiple times. I still don't really get it, and I love that about it.
The message is kind of cloudy, Is
Mm.
it? I mean, is he satirizing that violent media turns people violent? Or is he telling us that people are just stupid, empty vessels that are really easily manipulated?
I don't know if there's a message per se. I think it's just a meta narrative mindfuck.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing about uh, horror writings inspiring violent behavior,
Mm.
what was something heavily debated back then, especially. I mean,
I think, yeah, maybe he was satirizing it. That makes sense. I mean, if Carpenter's going to go one way or the other, he's going to be satirizing that because horror is what he did. I say
right.
past tense. I shouldn't say past tense because his last thing was like 2022. Uh, he's not officially retired yet, I don't think. But yeah. And one thing this movie makes very clear is all you have to do is put a kid in a horror movie, and it's inherently creepy.
I mean, especially a kid that could kill a bunch of Jedi younglings.
Well, that's later, and he wasn't one of the creepy ones, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
The way the church doors were opening and closing really quickly in that one scene, speaking of kids, was kind of unintentionally funny.
Yeah, the whole church supposed to be scary was kind of like,
Yeah.
but that's a kind of nice looking church though, actually.
Mm. The black roof was a
What's
little
wrong with
modern,
that?
but I liked it.
The Byzantine,
Uh-huh.
like that's something I would go and check out
Yeah.
probably.
One nice sound design touch. When we hear the groans from the guy handcuffed behind the hotel desk, it starts on the right. It kind of just unsettled you.
There, that was a pretty cool scene. I mean, of course, the whole gag with the painting changing and
Yeah.
stuff.
Loved the creature on Kane's neck, on the back of his neck. They show don't tell. So many movies get this wrong. It's these Cthulhu-esque monsters that he writes about
Right.
controlling him. They never spell that out. They just show that monster on the back of his neck, and you get the idea. He was both the villain and a victim.
Right. That I gathered that there were forces that had taken him first and they were using him as their mouthpiece.
Basically, whatever Sutter writes becomes reality.
Yeah.
And I for a while was thinking I wanted a backstory to see how he got this power, and I kind of do want that backstory. More on that later. But it explains it just by showing that monster on his neck. That the eldritch horrors are controlling him, and that's where the power is coming from.
Now, is it that he's changed reality, or is it that he's just made them believe?
Or has he just inserted himself into his own book?
Yeah,
And that's where we're living. There is no reality.
right.
That's one of the things I love about this movie is you can have that debate. You know, it doesn't answer anything really. Um, I'm glad that Styles didn't try to pretend she was human after we saw that she wasn't. After we saw the tentacles under the door, there was no like head fake that she might still be human. She just straight up attacks Trent.
She has this weird little arc,
Mm,
where she just becomes part of the story
yeah.
and then gets left behind in the end. In fact, even gets written out of it now that I think about it.
Well, she ends up in the church alone with Sutter.
When he comes back to Heston,
Mm.
Heston's like, "Who? Why would I
Oh yeah,
sent you
yeah,
alone?"
right. Oh yeah, she can that reality kind of changes, but she gets killed anyway. So it kind of clear
Yeah.
it avoids that uncomfortable question of what happened to her. Um, I'm also glad they didn't show Trent hotwire the car just by bashing the screwdriver into the ignition. They showed a bit of finesse there.
I don't know about that. But it was, how
It
long
was
would it
better
take you
than
to
most
hotwire a
hotwiring.
car, man?
Yeah, I mean, he was an insurance investigator, so I wouldn't doubt that he has hotwired a car before. It's one of those jobs
Okay.
where I kind of expect them to have all sorts of interesting skills.
All right. Now, Neil's performance in this started out a bit rocky, like the whole stuff being put into the padded room where,
He
he's,
goes very
I mean,
big.
that's the director's fault. But I also felt like the director kind of Carpenter fucked with him a bit in the beginning because I feel like the accent wasn't settled. Like I feel like Carpenter was making him, I don't know, do less of a New Zealand accent, or whether he was making him try to do an American.
Yeah, it does get a little muddy. He does end up with his natural New Zealand accent,
And
but
right, and then somewhere along the line, he said, "Fuck it, just do your
yeah,
regular voice." That's what I feel happened here, and it got a lot better as soon as they let him do his voice.
which is wild because I mean the movie most people know Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, he did an American accent, so he can do
Which
an
is the
American
same
accent
year.
around the same time.
I think it's the same year.
Yeah, so he can do it. He could do an American accent, a pretty good one.
Right. Totally. I think there's other movies where he did an American accent. I think it was just the director not sure what he
Oh,
really wanted out of him at first. Oh, Jurassic Park was a year before
okay,
this.
but
He did this as a follow-up to Jurassic Park.
hmm,
That's hilarious.
Carpenter is one of those directors where his flaws are part of his charm.
Yeah.
You know, uh, another nice creepy moment. There's this guy on a bike who shows up a couple of times. At first, I thought it was Carpenter in a cameo, because it
I
kind of
thought so
looks like
too,
him.
actually. Yeah.
But at the end, all they do is have him show up at a payphone, and it's creepy because they've established this guy is creepy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't beat one of my favorite moments, Styles' Linda Blair impression. She does the crab walk.
It felt like a hat in a hat to me. Like there wasn't an explanation as to why she was doing the crab walk.
Uh, it was a bit gratuitous, but I'm not above a bit of gratuity here and there. Gratuitousness, which is the proper word there. Um, Seeing them both on the bike, Styles and the creepy guy, was almost like impressionist creepy.
Very strange bicycle built for two kind of thing.
He just drives past them and they look over and that's it. but it's still kind of weird and creepy, but it like in this interesting impressionist kind of way. Um,
Yeah.
and at that point, I got a kick out of Trent thinking he could outthink Kane, which he of course can't do because Kane created him.
Right.
The character can't outthink the author,
Well, he wasn't aware where the situation he was in yet.
or he wasn't willing to accept it yet. I think he was starting
Yeah.
to put it together. And that scene where Kane exits by tearing himself apart and thus tearing a book apart, cheesy as fuck, but in a kind of adorable way. And judging from the passage that Styles read from the book In the Mouth of Madness, that's his final book, the one that they sent Trent to find. He really is a hack.
Well, right. The confusing part of this is when they're talking about in the beginning about the horror writers, um, where they talk about he's, being sophisticated,
Hmm.
but the most widely read. It was kind of like, wait, what? And usually I don't think anybody has ever described Stephen King as sophisticated.
No.
Like I once did a Stephen King book for English class in high school just to
Hmm.
kind of trying to goad the English teacher just to kind of, oh, she's gonna hate this. And actually she was pretty cool with it.
Well,
Which was like, huh,
King's not technical
good on
by any
you.
means. It's
You didn't take my bait.
King.
Right,
King's not technical by any means. It's not literature, but he's a damn solid writer. That's
right.
why he's as big as he is, because he is a very, very good, serviceable writer. He's. I hate to make this analogy because I can't stand Hemingway, but he's like Hemingway in that way. He's just simple. My only issue with King was always, and the reason I haven't read more, just way too many fucking adjectives. It's like
Ah,
it's like 5 words to describe a shade of purple.
I find him hit or miss, honestly.
Uh,
I haven't read King since reading The Stand
hmm.
because it was a long ass book
Oh
and
yeah.
it really felt like in the end it was pointless.
Uh,
I mean, it really needed an editor. And I think it was kind of like the long version or whatever, or like there was an edited version
uh,
before that, and I made the mistake of going for the full on, thinking, well, he knows what he's doing because he's Stephen King, and it was just kind of like, Jesus Christ, just kill them all, you know?
I've never even sat through the movie, let alone read the book. I mean, I know the basic storyline, but
Yeah, it's not something to watch if you're
uh,
coming down with a cold.
uh.
I think I was reading it. I was coming down with a cold while reading it, going, "Fuck."
But the whole reason of bringing up King was to establish that Kane is bigger than King.
Yeah,
And when you're talking about horror writers, if you're saying they're bigger than King, it's kind of like the Beatles saying they're bigger than Jesus. There was one moment in the movie that jump scared me.
there were some good jump scares, definitely.
Only one got me. When he's leaving the hospital at the end, there was something that crossed behind him. That caught
Mm,
me off guard and jump scared me. And we jumped over the crossroads scene. When he gets out of Hobbs End, he kind of wakes up laying on the road at this T Street. And there's a bicycle coming down the street. And you think it's the old creepy guy. And it's his
right.
kid. Because both bicycles have cards in the spokes.
Yeah.
And the kid is carrying a bunch of papers. He's a paper boy. And asks him if he wants a paper, asks him if he's all right, and gives him directions to the main road, yada, yada. The kid was played by Hayden Christensen in his film debut.
He mowed down a bunch of kids.
Probably a better performance than any of the prequels. Certainly more believable. Better direction.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's not saying much, I know.
well, yeah. I think I would say Carpenter is better
Yeah,
I
than
mean,
Lucas, yeah.
at getting actor performances,
Mhm.
even though he fucked with Neil's performance in this most
Yeah.
likely.
Um, one bit of trivia. This is the finale of Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy, preceded by The Thing and Prince of Darkness. We've done The Thing. We will eventually be into Prince of Darkness, so we're reviewing them out of order, it turns out.
Yeah.
But tribute episodes will do that. Um, Sequels and remakes?
Hmm. Interesting question. I mean, it's definitely subject matter that could be remade.
Oh, yeah, definitely want a
Hmm.
remake. And I also want the story of how Kane got possessed. Because at some point he was just a plain horror writer. And did he intentionally sell himself out? Or did they take him? You know, I want that story. It would be interesting to see who they could get. Ooh, okay. I was going to say who they could get to one up. Jurgen Prochnow is the one actor we didn't shout out. He plays Sutter Kane, another genius actor. And I was trying to think who we could get to play Kane in the remake. John Glover as Kane.
Oh, wow. I was thinking you get Defoe.
Ooh, that'd be good too. Um, but yeah, I want that, and I want a remake. There is so much that could be done with this material.
And honestly, I would cast whoever's playing Kane
Mhm.
should play the Doctor as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Just kind of made up differently, but look similar
Right,
enough
right, right.
because he's in their reality now.
Mm-hmm.
For Trent's part though, you'd have to get somebody that's a straight shooter,
Mm, yeah.
somebody that's a normie.
Ooh. And I normally suck at picking out like leading male actors, because they're all kind of vanilla. Um, I'm just not a fan of like leading actors. I like the interesting character actors. Um,
It's obvious though.
oh, okay. I was gonna say Krasinski.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good choice. But I was gonna say Hayden Christensen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give him a little redemption. I
Yeah,
want to see him get more work because he is better than the prequels lead us to believe.
of course.
He
Yeah.
needs redemption. Um,
He was a legit actor before that.
mhm.
With Kevin Kline. I almost said Robert Klein.
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin
Uh,
Kline.
yeah.
Different Kleins. Uh, and of course get Lithgow instead of Heston,
Mm.
I mean, just I think you're set.
We got to put Jamadi in here somewhere, and I'm just struggling for
Oh,
where because he's this movie's our version is begging for Jamadi.
I mean, I guess he could be the interviewing shrink that
Okay, yeah,
comes
that
in.
works. That works. I was thinking the publisher, but it's too small of a part.
All right, so we've got a remake
Yeah,
on the books here.
on the brains.
On the brains.
I love Carpenter. I've loved this movie for decades. I gotta go 5. It's flawed, it's cheesy in spots, but that's what you sign up for with Carpenter.
I mean, it's got its moments, but it's a bit
Hmm.
it also has some parts where it falls short. I'm
Right.
going 3.5.
All right. And what have we learned?
You never, never, never throw chips at a driver.
And I learned that perception is reality. And that's it for In the Math of Madness. Until next time, when we will finally be reviewing The Abominable Dr. Vibes. We put it off for the two-parter tribute. Not unusual for a tribute episode to interrupt the plan.
Yeah,
This turned into a two-parter because I couldn't resist.
Sam fucking Neill.
Yeah, of
Rest in
course.
peace.
Until then, of course, always remember, never forget, wherever you go in life,
There
there
you
you
are.
are.